Presley at ActOutGames.com here, and today is pretty much, I guess, the first day of Vidcon, and we're just wandering around. We're going to be doing a really cool SciShow panel where you make an episode of SciShow. It's going to be like what my panel is, where we break out into different groups and do different things. So there's like shooting and editing and animating, and there's just all sorts of different booths for what goes into a SciShow episode. And I'm not entirely sure if we're going to get one episode done in the whole time we have, but we'll see.
It should be really fun though, to kind of see how they do a SciShow episode. Should be give us a lot of information about Bite-Size EDU. So we're definitely going to learn a lot, I bet, and see some people we know. So should be all good.
So we just ran into Caitlin from the SciShow, and we talked to her for a little bit. She's really, really nice, and we're now sitting down and waiting for the panel to begin.
Looks like a tattoo, yeah. Saying the same thing, yeah.
Cars are cool, but I'm talking about a giant network of human-sized tubes that run through buildings and across entire cities.
Can you see the teleprompter from that angle? Yeah. Okay, cool. This is Presley.
And by the late 1800s, some cities like London had tens of kilometers of pneumatic.
You can just do the N. Just go pneumatic.
Pneumatic. And by the late 1800s, some cities like London had tens of kilometers of pneumatic tubing, mostly in businesses and mail rooms, which were used to transport millions of letters each year.
I quit.
Since then, pneumatic tubes have been used around the world to deliver medicine, money, and even McDonald's hamburgers. They're fast, easy to use, and the design isn't all that complicated.
So you stumbled over easy.
They're fast, easy to use, and the design isn't all that complicated.
Nice. Presley's really good too because she blinks. That's something like when you're reading the teleprompter, sometimes you can be like, you know, and so she like blinks and looks natural, and like I think like you're doing it naturally, so I almost hate to tell you this, but something that Hank always tells us if you're being like a little stiff, he's like, just move your eyebrows, and like, kind of just like wakes you out of it. It's a funny little trick, but you're doing it just naturally. Yeah, go for it.
Let's say, for example, you worked in an office building back in the day, like before email and texting were a thing, and you wanted to send some important paperwork or a secret message to your friend who works on the other side of the building.
I think that's probably a good spot. Okay. Presley just ended at this really adorable graphic animation that Sam made. So keep it in mind when you're looking at the graphic. And so I think, thank you, Jack.
Okay, so now it's after the panel, and it was super cool. I kind of ran in the middle of the panel. Oh, well, not towards the beginning of the panel. They were like, so we're gonna get Michael Aranda, and he's gonna be our host, and we're just gonna fake shooting a little bit. And then they were like, does anyone want to run the camera? And I heard camera. I'm like, ooh, yeah, I want to be in front of the camera. So I ran up, and they were moving a chair so I could stand up and like touch the camera and get everything in the right angle. But I actually just ran in and bumped Michael Aranda out of the way and was like, and then just started doing the script. And yeah, that was what I started doing. I did that, and that was really cool. And then we we just went around the little stations. The ones we did is we did animation, and we did scripting, as well as we did the graphics thing. And it was all really cool to learn about all these super cool kinds of things. I actually got to recommend a place to get graphics, which if you guys didn't know, I just want to tell everyone this, is there's a little setting on Google that you can like go to search settings, and then it'll be, I think it's called licensing, and then you can switch it to say like, you can, usable without credit if modified, or just usable without credit, and then you can click on all those and find really good textures. That's the textures that I use for editing photos, is how I find those. But yeah, it's really cool, and everyone was super nice, and it was just an absolutely great time. I think that's one of the best panels I've actually ever been to. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, so Presley did that last year at the lounge over at the hotel, over at the Hilton, and so that's one of her favorite things to do now if she finds beanbags. If you can get 3 beanbag chairs and line them up, then Presley will be flying across them probably at any given point. Okay, so we're going to walk in the expo hall.
Yeah.
We've heard all kinds of wonderful things about the expo hall, so we thought we'd go ahead and record the actual trip into the expo hall, yeah? All right, so let's go see what it looks like. So we get to set up like right here and do the rocket sled stuff.
It's gonna be not this many people.
No, nowhere near it. But she said kind of in front, so we can use kind of all of this space. Good grief, look, it goes like it was just this area. And now that whole area, that whole area. It's quite massive. All right, we're gonna go check some stuff out, and we're gonna wait and play the games when we come back on Friday. But we're gonna scope it out.
So we are preparing for a collab with Ashley and Wydell. We have our whole shot set up, and we have the science experiment ready. So now we're getting Mommy and Cooper to come down and help us, and we're getting Ashley and Grace to come here. And I'm really, really excited. I think they're gonna like the experiment, and I actually have a good reason for picking it. So I hope they're going to enjoy the experiment. You can watch that over on Bite Size EDU in a few days if you want to see what the collab turned out like.
Collab success. That was a really awesome collab with Ashley and Grace. I really loved it. It was a lot of fun. So we got more lined up, hopefully. But now we're going to go hit Emily Grassley and Nessie Hill, and a bunch of people are on a like women role models or educational content panel, which is fantastic. Like, what's it like being a woman educator on YouTube? And so Presley, I think, will learn a lot from that.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay, so now we are in the panel room after hanging out the Instagram Live for a little bit. We saw Sprinkle of Glitter and Luis there, which is really cool. I just said hi. But now we are sitting down, and I'm really excited for the panel. So there's like the physics girl, and then there's Vanessa Hill, there's Anna Rothschild, and there's Emily Grassley.
Like, what for you guys is the mark of a role model?
I guess, as I said, it is subjective, but perhaps somebody who inspires or motivates you in a certain way to live your life in a way, or to think about yourself differently, perhaps.
Yeah, somebody who makes you feel like when you're stuck in a rut or something, or you're not sure which path to take in life, someone that's like gives you the creative inspiration or the impetus, like just gives you that push. To pick a path, to find a project you're interested in, and to go forth and do something.
And I think also, to a certain extent, if you are in a position where you're educating young people and you don't think of yourself as a role model, there might be something wrong happening. Because you have a responsibility to present your best self and to that person, and to inspire them to, you know, find beautiful things in the world and be curious about the world. And if that's not your goal, then why have you chosen that path?
I think for me, the first time I was ever contacted by a parent or by a young person who said, you know, I'm a high school student or I'm a middle school student and I look up to you. I mean, that was the moment where I like straightened up. Not really, my posture's terrible, but mentally, I felt this weight, this gravity, and it wasn't like a crushing thing. It was like that sense of responsibility, and I started changing my life differently, feeling like I am a role model for people, whether or not I want to be. I've taken this path, so I am, and there are just certain responsibilities that come with that.
So we just finished the panel, and it was super awesome.
That was an awesome panel.
Everyone there was just my role models. Like,
it was aptly named.
It was like, wow.
Calling it the role model panel was pretty accurate.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, these are all my role models.
They're very sweet. And look, we got this picture, which is like a dream picture. We're gonna have to blow it up and put it on the wall to have these people.
Like, look at it.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. That was
like
a good
life-size cutout, like Emily. So we just caught the very end of the Junior Identity on YouTube panel, which Ashley and Jackson Bird were on. So we went and we, also Cat Black, she was on that too, I forgot to say. But we just went and we only caught the very end of it because of the keynote that we needed to go to. But we caught the very end of it, and we got to talk to Ashley and Grace for a little bit. And yeah, it's just a really great panel, and I'm so excited that Vidcon has these kinds of panels.